Okay, we've talked about a lot of the world's problems, but one of the next problems for us to discuss is AI is everywhere now. It's bleeding into every industry, pros and cons, good and bad, but no industry is safe from AI not being at least some sort of part of that. How is that integrating into the automotive space and the dealer space?
Yeah, great question. It seems like AI has kind of become this buzzword or term that people kind of throw around and use. And,
For sure.
All these vendors and services and things that you may subscribe to as a dealership, the first thing you see on their website is powered by AI, and there's something AI driven, right?
Yeah.
Dealers, by and large, have been very, very slow to adopt AI.
Okay.
There are certain segments of their business that AI has kicked in even without their consent, I guess.
Okay.
One example of that is there are services where dealers are able to shop for vehicles from other dealers or even auction sites and things where they use AI to show prior body damage on a vehicle. AI's gotten really good about being able to see that in the photos and kind of show that and highlight where there may have been possible body damage or something that's an imperfection, defect, whatever.
Yeah.
And so there's a certain amount of that, but I believe wholeheartedly that the dealership model, the dealership business, is the people business. When I first started working for an auto lender, there was a Chrysler dealer that I worked with, and the GM told me one time, and it's stuck with me ever since. He said, "This is a people business, and without people, you just have a giant warehouse and a large parking lot."
Yeah.
And it really is, right? The dealership is the people business. With that being said, people by and large, sadly, are not as reliable as AI these days.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So I was at the Indiana Independent Auto Dealers Association event a couple Saturdays ago.
Okay.
And one of the vendors there is a company called Carbot. And Carbot is not sponsoring anything that I do, I want to say. But they really opened my eyes to some things for AI. So I was there during their presentation. They offer a variety of services that are AI driven, but I'm going to give you an example that they used that was just staggering. I may butcher this, I hope I don't. Dealership in Kentucky used Carbot, and they had 900 leads that came through, and Carbot did all of the consumer contact, messaging, phone calling even. The technology's gotten so good that when you listen to the playback of the calls, it sounds like they're talking to a real person. Like, it's almost instantaneous, their responses and everything. There's not that big delay like you would expect.
Yeah.
And on 900 leads, sold 78 cars without human interaction until they got to the dealership. Most dealers I know would take those odds.
Oh, for sure.
Would happily take those odds.
For sure.
And Carbot can do anything. It looked like they can do an AI receptionist. They can do a business development center that is fully AI. But the statement that was made during this, and then I'll drop talking about their business because I'm not familiar enough with it.
They're not writing checks to you.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. But the one thing that the gentleman that was given the presentation said that was eye-opening for me is he said, how many dealers in this room can go ask every salesperson in their store to make 50 outbound sales calls a day and they'll do it without question? And most of them couldn't raise their hand.
Yeah.
Right? And he said AI will because it doesn't know anything else other than what you told it.
Every single day, no excuses, no headaches, no tummy aches, no nothing.
Yeah.
It's just doing it. Yeah.
AI doesn't decide to just pick up their phone and play Candy Crush or decide that they're going to get on the phone with their girlfriend or boyfriend for an hour and a half. Like, AI doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And so as the technology has grown and has gotten way better, I mean, it was far beyond what I thought that it could be. and it doesn't know any better. And
Yeah.
so it'll just make those outbound sales calls. It'll respond to all those sales leads within seconds without even you having to tell it a second time. Like, it just does it automatically. And so to answer your question,
That's crazy.
AI is growing significantly in every industry, but dealers need to embrace it. 'Cause that's where it's headed. And that doesn't mean that it has to replace their people.
For sure.
It means that it can add efficiencies
Yeah.
where the people that work in your dealership can focus more on being that trusted advisor and consultant to their clients, as opposed to go do the push-ups that are brain damage over and over and over and over again. Let AI do that, but then let your people handle the high-touch transactions with consumers to make their experience better.
I think some, simple tasks that are repeated. So client calls in to schedule a service appointment. You'd think that'd be very simple for AI to integrate into doing something like that.
Yeah, and there are services that will do that. And you train AI on how you want it to interact.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you train it that you want it to interact in a very positive, upbeat way, and you want it to offer to buy their car in the service department every time, it only knows to offer it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I know in the insurance space, we've seen a lot of updates with AI too, from whether it's reviewing properties for existing risks or changes that have happened. We're seeing that pricing models have been impacted by AI. The kind of what you were saying is a lot of customer service lines are being impacted by AI, which is interesting though, because in our world, there's this gray space of like, oh, well, you have to be licensed to do some things. And if you train AI to react as licensed, does that actually mean that it's licensed? So there's this a little bit of back and forth and gray area on that. But there's even what's called parametric insurance, which is 100% just data-driven insurance. So you'd almost think about like a storm goes through the area. National Weather Service puts out the data after the storm goes through, like, hey John, a F2 tornado was 2 miles away from your home with 104 mile per hour wind gusts. That immediately qualifies for this payout, and then they just send you the money.
Wow.
So there's no adjuster, there's no claim, nothing you have to do.
Sure.
It's just AI looked at data, you qualified, here's money.
Yeah.
So we're even seeing like implementation like that in the industry too.
Well, and I'll be honest, because I'm so people driven in this business and believe so wholeheartedly that this is a people over everything business.
Right.
I was a little resistant and scared of the AI stuff.
For sure.
Right.
I think that's a normal reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was resistant that I didn't want to put Chat GPT on my phone, and I didn't, right? And I've since embraced that because of the efficiency.
Yeah.
AI brings, and I think that to answer your very starting initial question, that AI brings a level of efficiency to the dealer space that they probably don't have today in many instances.
Yeah.
And to where some of the mundane, repetitive tasks can be handled by AI, so they can allow their professionals to work closer with the consumer and give them a much better experience. I think that that's really the win to use AI. It doesn't need to replace your people.
For sure.
It can free them up though to do more and to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have AI handle the transactional so that their people can handle the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, great point.
I mean, if you had someone, getting qualified to purchase a vehicle and the AI could be doing all the data collection and verifying information.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
I mean, I don't see a world soon where AI takes over as a finance manager to discuss the customer's needs and financial transaction and so on and so forth.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I just think consumers still want a person to talk through with it. Yeah.
I don't see AI replacing salespeople in a dealership that forge these really important consumer relationships and now they have a person in the car business to reach out to if they have an issue or a question, or they need to buy a car for their daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't see AI replacing that. But there are so many efficiencies, like you said, right? Transactional efficiencies where AI could step in and do some of these things. Responding to leads and putting together email campaigns and doing outbound sales calls in some instances.
For sure.
I think that there's an opportunity there. There are several services that exist today that will help dealers do that. But this is, again, it goes along the same lines and our common theme of all of our segments, where forward-thinking operators think differently.
Absolutely.
They're always looking for a way to improve the operation, to increase efficiency, to improve the customer experience.
Yeah.
And if that means that you have to embrace some of the things that are uncomfortable to do that,
got to do it.
You got to do it.
Got to do it.
You got to at least try, right? You got to at least try.
Interesting. I was trying to think of, I had something on my mind about, I've seen some businesses where maybe they're a little reluctant to embrace AI, but they know they need to do it.
Yeah.
So I see some that they'll integrate AI for anything after hours. So it's like, hey, while we're here, we're going to handle it. But if we close at 7 and someone calls at 7:05, we don't want someone to just get a voicemail.
Yeah.
So we can have that AI voice agent answer the phone, take a message, get it to the sales team when they get back, or schedule that service appointment or whatever it might be. So, I mean, there's even applications where they can find that happy medium of like, we still like our people to do it, but maybe this is a good entry to being able to add some value without impacting our people.
You know, I've called into some of the large companies, like cell phone companies, cable companies, what have you, and most of them have implemented some AI solution, but it's not very good.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was kind of the limit of AI in today's marketplace until I saw this presentation and actually got to hear some of these calls, and they must be using a much older version of AI than what's available today.
Yeah.
To your point, right? I mean, AI can schedule service. AI can follow up on any sales lead. AI can do outbound sales calls, and it can do it well.
Yeah.
I mean, it really can. And so maybe, like you said, right, a good segue into starting to use it maybe for after hours stuff. It's possible. Maybe you implement it just to follow up on leads that come through online. You dip your toe in the water by doing that.
For sure.
But I think by and large that dealers, most business owners, they do what works.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to try.
I mean, there's...
Which, by the way, ChatGPT is on my phone now. So
is it?
Yeah, I'm using it.
Hey, I use it. We just used it this last week. Wanted to create a marketing post, and I tied in, sure you saw the stories about the Phillies Karen. Yeah, so we had AI generate like an image of what it would look like, her like screaming or crying, and made a post about like, oh, if this is your reaction when you see your insurance renewal rates, sounds like you need to give us a call.
But AI did that for you, and how much efficiency? I mean,
we had a handful of calls that day just because of that post.
But how would you have done that otherwise if you didn't have AI?
I wouldn't have even attempted. We just went on with my day.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you got a handful of calls by just allowing AI to create an efficiency for you, and you used it in a social media marketing campaign.
And it helped my team. It didn't take anything away from anyone.
No.
It gave them leads to work.
Yeah. And I think that now that I find myself starting to embrace that more and more, I just didn't think about it as efficiency. I always thought about it like AI is going to take people's jobs, or it's going to replace everybody.
Yeah.
Right? It was a place of fear.
Yeah.
And now that I've gotten past that, and I've just seen the efficiency angle and how much more efficient it can make your business, I'm embracing it.
I mean,
I really am.
Yeah. This is any technology that ever would come in. I mean, I'm sure we rewind 25 years ago, And there were dealerships that probably were struggling to embrace having a website
100%.
and having inventory online, or a way that they could interact with people, or people could, whatever. There's always going to be something that's new and coming out. And I know I always default to this reference, and it's not to be repetitive, but because everyone knows it. But you can choose to be Blockbuster, or you can choose to be Netflix.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a great point. I would say that specifically in the dealer space, we encounter this stuff pretty regularly too, resistance to change.
Yeah.
I still occasionally run into dealerships and finance managers that they don't want to e-contract car deals, that they would much rather just still continue to do paper. The lack of efficiency in that, and then so much so that some of the lenders have actually imposed fees that if you choose to do paper, we're going to charge you an extra fee. It's just their way of trying to push,
for sure,
push adherence to do e-contracting. But I'm not saying that's the right way, but it is still a resistance to change.
Yeah.
The fact that it's 2025 and we still have folks that are pushing the paper narrative in the finance office, like, just embrace it. Do an e-contract. Embrace using an iPad for a presentation with a customer. Right? Meet customers where they are. That's not to say that there are some customers that won't appreciate having the paper between their fingers. Maybe so.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it just because you don't want to learn how to do e-contracting because it's the new thing, that's not a good reason.
Yeah.
If you're avoiding AI just because you're afraid it's going to take your job, that's not a good reason. Just use it to your advantage and try to become more efficient.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing tool. I'll be interested to see how time goes on, the impacts that it has in the industry.
Some of the things that I've read about the medical profession and how AI is impacting that is amazing.
Yeah. Like you put all your medical records into it and it can just analyze every single thing you put into it. What are my eating? What are my lifestyle habits? What are my records? And just
and I don't know about
crazy.
You, but I mean, if it got good enough, would I rather have a doctor think about my symptoms and make a recommendation on just a couple minutes of information, or would I rather a system that can do a deep dive into all of my medical records, then make a determination? That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean,
not to discredit doctors, obviously.
Oh, for sure. But that's no different than saying like, hey, I meet with the doctor for 5 minutes and they give a recommendation, or I give a doctor all my records and they spend a week diving into everything and give it. That's what AI is doing in seconds.
Yeah.
So no, I agree. I'm not discrediting doctors, but like, if this can analyze my entire life of medical records and health status and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I would say that the term is embrace it.
Yeah.
It's here. It's not going away. It's continuing to improve. As dealers, they've got to embrace it. Embrace it. Put it to work in your business and making you more efficient, to where you can create a better experience for your customer.
Yeah.